talking to minors. Who is talking to minors? First of all, I talk to minors all the time. I love minors. I love minors. I love minors. Yes, 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 yes. Go in the hole. Yes.
Today I'm going to be talking about a TikToker, or should I say TikTokers, by the name of Emily, Emil, Beast, and Jack. Emil is 39 years old. Somehow they managed to have a few videos on TikTok that ended up blowing up, gaining them a pretty decent audience. Emil would use this audience to go live on TikTok and make more videos. A lot of these videos and lives consisting of weird dances. But the biggest reason why Emil gained such a big audience is because, according to Emil, they have 4 different personalities inside of them. I kind of named all them in the start of this video, but I'll say them again. One of them is Emil, which is the original personality. One of them is Emily, which is the only female personality, and she gets herself into a lot of trouble. One of them is Jack, which is basically the tough guy personality. And the scariest one of them all is the Beast, which you got a little glimpse of in that clip of him dancing where he was roaring. That right there was the Beast coming out. But here's a full clip of the Beast.
Watch this in public. While the Beast speaking up, finally, cowards.
According to Emil, they don't actually have DID, and the doctors say that they're a medical mystery. Which, yeah, it's true, they definitely don't have DID. And the fact that Emil can switch between personalities whenever he wants just confirms this even more. And I think the only reason Emil acts like this is because they do, in fact, abuse substances, which I really think could be deteriorating their mental and physical health. Which is why he pretends to have 4 different personalities. And I think it's why Emil has done the awful things that he has done, which we're going to be getting into right now. Starting with the relationship with his father, I genuinely don't think they had a very bad relationship with each other, because Emil claims that his parents are very accepting of the way he dresses and the things he does. But something I do know that's true is that him and his father definitely don't have a good relationship now, because allegedly while on substances, Emil pushed his father down the stairs. Emil would get what he deserved for doing this, because after doing it, the cops were called and they did show up and arrest Emil. They didn't just arrest him for pushing his father down the stairs, though. I guess that he made some terroristic threats, which also caused his arrest, even though he was going to get arrested anyway. For doing both of these things, Emil would actually get a very decent amount of time in jail. This jail definitely isn't what Emil made it seem like it was. There's definitely no, like, gang bosses or anything in there. It was literally like a small county jail that he went to. But according to Emil, to stay safe, he had to get a tattoo on his chest, which if you look at the center of this tattoo and look at the shape, you can definitely tell what was there before he turned it into a tribal tattoo. The story behind Emil getting this tattoo is complete bullshit, though. He didn't get it to stay safe in jail. And we know this because Emil's ex-wife, yes, this guy had a wife, multiple wives actually, but this specific ex-wife says Emil got that tattoo after watching American History X and being obsessed with Edward Norton. Meanwhile, missing the entire point of the movie. He never got initiated in any county jail. He never went to prison. He may have bent over for the inmates, but the rest of the story is bullshit. This same ex-wife is the baby mother of his children. Yeah, this guy also has children, and I feel very bad that that is their father. But there was a point in Emil's life where he did enjoy being in his kid's life. But according to this same ex-wife, when they were together, Emil didn't have personalities. And surprisingly, he was actually very homophobic and hated the thought of one of his kids becoming gay. Only after their divorce did Emil develop these other personalities. Like I said earlier, Emily, which is the personality that gets herself into the most trouble and is the only female personality, would hit on people in her life or tell stories about how people have asked her to be part of their relationship with somebody. So basically like a three-way relationship because they like Emily so much.
Messaging saying, I want you to know I talked to my husband, or I want you to know me and my wife talked, and in the event you're ready, we would like Emily to jump in. Or my husband just seems to be okay with Emily, and I talked to him about Emily jumping in with us. And we all wanted to know. And somebody also said, I'm not going to say names, we will spoil her like a princess. Even my husband wants to be... Even my husband wants to be there, so it's pretty insane.
Emil would tell all these stories and flirt with people on live, all in front of his ex-wife, who is still trying to fix the relationship. No idea why she would even want to, but, This isn't even the worst thing he's done to his wife, or now ex-wife, I guess. Emil was also on live one time when his wife called him, and it sounded like she really needed him at that moment. But the only thing Emil did was sit there and say that he was on live and couldn't speak, and she knows that. He just kept repeating those same words when his wife needed him the most.
No, I can't. I'm on live. No, I can't. I'm on live. Okay, I cannot talk. I am on live. You know this. I'll be done in a few hours, okay? No, you don't sound... Are you alright? Yeah, well, okay, I can't talk when I'm on live. You know that. I have all my fans and friends and everyone right now. I'm getting... No, okay. Not now. I can't. I'm on live. Okay, I thought we already decided that. Why are you trying to call me... Okay. No, we said divorce. That's divorce. All right, Kayla, they all love you. They're all saying hi. All right? But, people pay for dances and people do stuff. So, you know what I mean? Emily, I've got to do what I got to do. So if you want to come on live and say hi, you can. All right? All right, bye.
So it's pretty clear that when Emil and his wife are together, he neglected her pretty hard. But that's not the only thing, because Emil has talked about how he remembers his wife coming to pick the kids up early, and he said no. And apparently the last thing he remembers is her on her back. So obviously that sounds like he laid his hands on her.
She came one night to get the kids early, and I said no. And she said, Emil, I'm getting the kids early. And I said no. And I remember she said, let me in. And I remember, I don't know what happened. My memory, all I remember was her on her back. I must have went like this.
And his wife made a post on TikTok that said, what my so-called amazing husband has done to me would make you sick. I'm traumatized for life. So obviously it sounds like the relationship they were in turned abusive. And I can't help but think that all of this stemmed from his substance abuse. Because like I said, there was a time where Emil did look happy being in his kid's life and his wife's life. And I am gonna guess that it was the substance abuse that just made it so bad. Because looking back at how Emil used to look and act, the substance abuse has definitely affected him a lot. mentally and physically. His physical state right now is a lot worse than it used to be, and something that proves that is when Emil was on live, he went to take a drink from his water bottle and like barely tapped his tooth with the bottle, and half of his front tooth broke right off in front of everybody.
Emily just smacked our tooth. Oh my God. Oh my God. You did not just break my teeth, Emily. Oh my God.
It's pretty obvious that Emil's teeth are like this because of the substance abuse, and he probably doesn't brush them either, let's be honest. After breaking his tooth, he kind of just stuck with that for a while. He had half of a front tooth. But he eventually wanted to find some way to fix the look of his teeth and see his smile again. And he ended up seeing a bunch of ads all over the place for these pop-on veneers. First, he had to get his teeth molded to get these pop-on veneers, and the mold just looks terrible. And whenever he actually puts these pop-on veneers in, he just looks like a rabbit. Like, they're way too big for his mouth, and they give him a lisp whenever he talks. But now that he has them, it's kind of hard to see him without them now.
Yo, what's up, everybody? As you all know, we are Emily, Emil, Beast and Jack, EEBJ. This is our final video for the pop-on veneers. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give them a million. Not only did pop-on veneers blow our expectations out of the water, but to see a smile for the first time since we've been about 22, 23 years old, and we're now 39, to see all of our teeth when we smile, just, there's no amount of words. Pop-on veneers, hats off to all of you, from Emil, from Emily, from Jack, and the Beast. Whoa! Here's the end result. So first of all, for anyone who's skeptical, definitely recommend pop-on veneers. First, we got our toothbrush, which is soft bristled. They gave us a soft bristled one due to, what teeth we have. Let it be known, too, that this is only a temporary fix. It's going to take getting used to in live. It's going to take getting used to, period. But at least for photos, and at least we know there is a lot of hope in the future for our teeth. So until we do go to the dentist, off and on, we will be wearing our veneers. We might need a little teeth glue for the bottom. Anyway, so first of all, these are the molds that they molded them off of. We were skeptical at first until we saw the molds and how dead on the molds actually were. So you guys did a phenomenal job. We're not going to try to talk when we show you the teeth at first, so we can show you we're adjusting still, but they are gorgeous. So first, we got our little pop-on veneer case. Inside, those are our veneers. Now, let me show you guys. It's been since I've been about 22, 23 years old, that the four of us, hi guys, Scoozy, have smiled with full teeth. So let's show you guys how it works. So first of all, we're going to take the top teeth, which are right here. We might sound like we have a little bit of a lisp, but the fans love that anyway, and we're still adjusting. Guys, they actually click, just like every advertisement says. Listen, these are our top veneers. That was a click. Now, these are our bottom veneers. Scoozy.
These pop-on veneers look like absolute shit, obviously. It's almost the same thing as buying those plastic vampire teeth that people wear on Halloween. Like, it's just not comfortable for your mouth and doesn't look real at all. Moving on from everything about his teeth, I really want to talk about, like, one of the worst things that Emil has done. And this is when he exposed his tape to viewers on TikTok live, and this is not like a filtered live stream where it's only 18 plus. There's definitely kids watching, and he showed his tape, and I don't even think he got banned for doing this.
Here's the teeth. My stitch. All right, we're done. You got it. You got your wish.
Emil being purposely disgusting on live would turn into a really common thing for attention. He says some insanely vile things on live, and one of them was about his own parents. So somebody in the chat told Emil to go in the corner, and he had this story to tell.
Emily, go in the corner. One time, Nikki, I was in the corner, and my mom came up and said, "What are you doing?" I was in the corner, pretty much rubbing off of the corner. My mom's like, ew, get out of the corner. I'm like, win-win. Whatever. Wherever you put me, it's gonna happen, so. Try to punish me and stick me in the corner. So I was like, ooh, I'm in a corner. Oh yeah, I'll show that corner who's boss. And my mom's like, ew, what are you doing? We got in big trouble. I got spanked, and I'm like, ooh, spank me. And it never really worked. They couldn't do anything. Then Dad would be like, you're in big trouble, take it like a man. I'm like, I'm a lady. And then I would get spanked even harder. And then even harder. I was hard while I got spanked. So there was no way to win. No way to win with us. Straight up.
This guy was really just talking about getting hard from his own parents spanking him. Like, holy shit, how, like, mentally ill could you be to be getting off to your own parents spanking you? This guy needs serious help. And he just needs to be banned from TikTok entirely. I genuinely don't understand how his account is still up, because he literally shows parts of his body on live streams that should not be allowed to be showed on TikTok. I know a couple of his lives have been taken down, and I think he's been shadow banned a couple times, but he's never got, like, banned. But anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is Emil's history with animal abuse. So right now, sadly, Emil has 2 cats and a lizard. They all need to be taken from him. But not that long ago, he had 2 lizards. The other one died because he tortured and starved it. And according to one of his exes, once again, Emil took a litter of baby kittens in the winter, left them in a box in the woods to die, and went home. There was a video out there of him admitting that he did this, but it got taken down. Emil also apparently let one of his less sane exes touch his lizard that's still alive inappropriately. Like, it's a lizard. Leave the fucking thing alone. Like, what does Emil not do at this point? Like, he's done every vile thing you can think of. And Emil's ex-wife did post a video on her own TikTok confirming all of the information in this video. I couldn't find the video myself unless I wanted to rip it straight out of Kiwi Tapes' video, and I'm just not gonna do that. So that's pretty much everything you needed to know about Emily, Emil, Beast, and Jack. Overall, this guy is one of the most vile people I've ever covered on my channel, and he needs to be arrested again, to be honest. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.
We did it! Yay! We did it!
No DJ Khaled, but we the best. Them chops howling, where you a best. If I catch you, I lock in your